Hello to sports fans one and all, and welcome to One-on-One Sports. I'm Greg Brzozowski.
And I'm Curt Lestan. We have a great show for you today, so let's kick things off with our starting five.
The New Orleans Saints franchise is under fire after it was reported this week that the team has been running a bounty program for the past 3 seasons, rewarding their players financially for big hits and causing injuries to their opponents. Curt, what are your thoughts on this disgusting practice?
You know what? I think everyone needs to relax a little bit. I think people need to calm down.
Really?
The media needs to calm down. The way I look at it is this, okay? The way I look at it as, it's the same thing as if a sales representative walked into the office and said, whoever sells the most this week is going to get a $100 gift card to Ruth Chris.
Okay, here's what's
Same
different
way I
about
look at
that.
it. Same
You're
way.
dealing with the livelihoods and physical well-being of professional athletes, guys who are owed millions of dollars, guys who have such a responsibility.
Isn't that football?
It is, but you're increasing
That's why they get paid that
the
much.
violent nature of it. Look, football
No, you're
already
not. No, you're
already
not.
is a violent sport, and this is something Eli Manning said in response to this week. It's a violent sport enough. You do not need to make it more violent with bounty systems. This is wrong. You are trying to capitalize on somebody's physical punishment.
All due respect to Eli Manning, he's a soft little quarterback who doesn't want to get hit.
Okay, well, what about one of the guys who did get hit, Brett Favre, who said in the 2010 NFC title game that the Saints knocked him around, and you saw the pictures of how black and blue his leg was.
Listen,
he said there was something different about that
Do you know why Brett Favre said that? Because he wants to be in the media, he wants attention. Listen, it's not a big deal, Greg. It's football, it is violence. Defensive players get big hits, they get paid more.
No,
they get paid more publicity, more people root for them. That's the way it should be.
It's disgusting, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, all right. Drew Brees, Ray Rice, and Deshaun Jackson are a few of the big-name players who have been slapped with the franchise tag. Greg, do you think they're using this franchise tag the right way? What is your thoughts on it?
Certain players have been getting the franchise tag for the right way. Guys like Deshaun Jackson,
I agree.
They need to work out his contract issue. Ray Rice, positions like that. But there's one guy that I think really needs to get a big deal, and that's Drew Brees. This is a joke that the Saints slapped the franchise tag on him. If the Saints could get any better press with what just happened, that is awful. He needs a deal, and he said he is, quote, livid over this situation. He has every right to be.
He should be, because he's the face of that franchise.
Best player in franchise history.
Yes, he brought them out of the low lives of what was the Saints. He really brought them to prominence. If anyone deserves a contract, like you said, it's him. But I love how it works with Deshaun Jackson.
Yes,
a guy who's had off the field issues. You don't want to go long term with him. You still give him a bonus, a big bonus. It's for a year. He behaves himself, then he gets a long term deal.
Absolutely, it works better. But Brees needs a deal. Major League Baseball is officially changing their playoff structure, adding a second wildcard team to both the American and National League. The 2 top division runners-up in each league will now play in a best-of-1 series in do-or-die style in order to be able to advance in October. Curt, is this a good move or a bad move for baseball?
Greg, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Really?
Yes. If you remember last regular season ending towards the playoffs, both the Red Sox and the Braves had a win-and-you're-in type game.
A couple monumental collapses on their parts, too.
Oh, absolutely monumental. But you know what? It's great TV. People loved it. There was such a big stir at the end of the season for baseball, which generally that's a low time for baseball because everyone has their division all wrapped up.
Without a doubt.
You're seeing pitchers and players being rested. This brought drama throughout the entire season. I thought it was great. Baseball's
definitely moved into the background in the past couple of years in the sports world, but that cemented in the front, I agree. But I think the system, while it's great to get another wildcard team, you need to make it more than just a best-of-1 series.
I don't think so.
Curt, you need 3 games.
No.
There should be a better advantage to winning your division. You should have to suffer more in that second round of the playoffs if you do advance. 1 game is 1 game. You go with your second starter instead of the first.
1 game is more exciting. Look at football, great numbers. There you go.
It's exciting, but I don't really like it.
All right. Los Angeles Clippers superfan Darrell Bailey, better known as Clipper Darrell, was told by the Clippers to stop being their unofficial mascot because he was seeking too much money. Greg, whose side are you on here?
Well, I was back and forth on this a little bit because the first reports you get out thinking you're on Clipper Darrell's side because he's been wronged by the team. But then you realize that he was trying to profit off of their name, their logo, the likeness, and you realize that the Clippers actually offered him $70 a night to be an official cheerleader for the team. They offered him a job. He turned it down. But then you realize that he's also being a little blackmailed by the Clippers too. You don't really know what side to agree with.
Greg, listen. I can't use the words that I want to use to describe Clipper Darrell on this TV show. It's not nice. People would yell at me and yell cut and we'd have to stop. Now listen, the fact that they have given him free season tickets so he can sit there and watch his team, offered him $70 per game, and he called up Mark Cuban and said, hey, Mark, you need a super fan?
Cuban called him.
He took the call.
Who wouldn't take a call from a billionaire like he said?
Greg, not a real fan. This is pathetic. It's terrible. He had a good thing. He had a good thing.
He did have a good thing, and here's the thing: those two sides need to come together. This is the best time in Clippers basketball history. They need to right this wrong. The United States soccer team defeated Italy recently in a friendly match, marking the first time in history the U.S. has ever defeated the Azzurri, ever. Curt, is this a big win for the U.S. soccer program, or is we making too much out of a friendly?
Yeah, this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. The U.S. have never beat the Italians before in a soccer match. I understand it's a friendly. I understand they're not at full strength, either team, but they won. It feels so great to get that monkey off your back, right?
It's not like we won in the Confederations Cup or even bigger, the World Cup on a national stage. It was a friendly match. Italy's clearly not giving their all. They don't have all their players there. While this was a big win and while you love that the U.S. was able to put a shutout on them, Italy did outplay the U.S. at times in that game. And for the most part,
how don't you see this? You've never beaten this team before, and you finally beat them.
It's a great win and something for them to build on, but we're making too much out of a friendly. It's a friendly. It's an exhibition.
It'll play out down the line.
It's like preseason NFL football.
You'll see. You'll see. It's time for us to take our first break. But when one-on-one returns, Greg will be joined by our NBA experts as they try to make moves before the trade deadline. Stay tuned.